What is Gucci YouTube? It's your boy Black Shot 3 on face skinny body. And we are back, of course, still black, with some more fire Boruto manga related content. Now, before we get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, smash that like button, share the video with your friends, and let's hop into the business, Yasirski.
9 mountains and 8 seas make one world. 1,000 worlds make one chiliocosm. 1 chiliocosm to the power of 3, and there's nothing I can't cut.
Now, some people want to know when the next giveaway actually is going to be. If you were on the channel, you will understand that this isn't the first time I've done a giveaway contest before. Prior, when the channel first hit 500 subscribers, I actually did a giveaway. That time, it was just for the hoodies. I gave away 2 free hoodies randomly. I forgot the requirements I made for that specific contest, but I chose 2 winners at the time as well and sent them their 2 hoodies. And as y'all know, the prize and the competition itself was a little different this time around. I had the 2 winners chosen. I went over them in my previous video. And ironically enough, this time around, I actually had one winner choose the $50 option and the other winner choose the hoodie option along with the Boruto volume of their selection. Now, we're dealing with those matters behind closed doors privately. Those 2 winners, one chose the hoodie and the volume, so stay tuned once I get them situated. Hopefully, I could get him to DM a picture of the hoodie, possibly, you know what I'm saying, in the flyest way possible, so I could show off to the channel and let y'all know, bro, what y'all missing or possibly not even missing out on. But those 2 winners, definitely there. As for the next competition, man, it's just one step at a time, bro. I'm really trying to build a brand right here. So I don't know. And this last competition, I didn't know it was going to be a competition like 2 weeks prior. It was the day I thought of it. I was like, you know what? Let's run it. We want to run the gauntlet. But moving forward, man, I know y'all here to talk about my boy Shikamaru, you know what I'm saying, my guy Naruto, you know what I'm saying, my guy Boruto, the big Uzumaki clan, you know what I'm saying, big Himawari Uzumaki, a whole lot of things going down, right? I know I emphasized and talked about heavily in my chapter review, Mitsuki and Ada. This conversation took me for a loop. This is probably my favorite part of the chapter. Honestly, this is the most deepest part. We're going to take a lot of time to talk about this. We're going to break this down to separate videos aside from the chapter review. And trust me, those feelings very much still stand strong. However, this video, this specific topic is something I wanted to just go ahead and get out to y'all because prior to the actual chapter, it was probably my most next heavily focused on video in terms of topic wise. Like, yeah, I still want to do that Shikamaru video. Oh, I still got to do that Shikamaru video. I got to do that Shikamaru video. But after we got the chapter release, I understand. I still think it's a prominent topic, but I'm taking a different approach, more so not, I want to say a more lackadaisical approach or a less detailed approach, but a more broad approach in a sense where we already started to see the effects take place in chapter 8. So even moving forward in the story, it's more prominent to understand Shikamaru's decision to stick by Boruto or to potentially give Boruto, let's say, the benefit of the doubt, quote unquote, right? Changes the trajectory of the entire story on a whole bunch of different levels, right? The most obvious, prominent, and shaky and risky level would be Kawaki himself. They've said it time and time again. Shikamaru himself has said it, and Boruto even came out to say it. And this is just in 2 Blue Vortex himself. But we understand Kawaki is an emotional roller coaster. So doing anything that pushes him to the edge or pushes him or makes him feel like he's backed into the corner will obviously prove the worst for everybody else around, because we don't know what Kawaki is willing to do or how far Kawaki is willing to go when he is desperate or when he feel like he is backed into the corner. And we've already seen examples of this with, you know, Naruto and Hinata being sealed away, Kawaki rushingly trying to kill Boruto for the 2nd time, Kawaki trying to escape the village randomly, Kawaki randomly sprouting all of his emotions onto Ada, and then accidentally and randomly, of course, activating Ada's omnipotence jutsu, but then right there on the spot, boom, blaming the quote-unquote death of Naruto Hinata on Boruto. So following a similar pattern, there's a lot of things we're going to have to keep our eye out for right now, currently, right? Just to look at some of the things, and then I want you guys to add on, right? Just give me some ideas of what do y'all think Kawaki's character might go, but ultimately what Shikamaru's decision does for the story. But just looking at it at the basis level, with Shikamaru putting his trust or deciding to quote unquote portray the village for Boruto, it puts honestly Boruto in a much better and easier light, but it really changes how Shikamaru is able to move in the free reign he has. We know prior to the most recent events in Blue Vortex, aside from Kawaki, Shikamaru most likely would have been the one who was most after Boruto's neck, because Obviously, understanding if the positions weren't reversed, Shikamaru off the jump was suspicious of Kawaki prior telling Naruto, bro, we shouldn't keep him inside the village. We should keep him confined outside the village. We shouldn't put our trust in him. When Kawaki first, was there when Naruto disappeared due to Jigen, Shikamaru automatically put everybody, including Boruto and Team 7, on house arrest. So we understand the extreme measures that Shikamaru is willing to go. But now that we have Shikamaru playing, the ninja in disguise, the meaning behind the hidden meaning, and he's actually have to Uno reverse card his whole entire village, not only his whole entire village, the entire land of fire, because they purposely did this to us. They held off long enough for getting Shikamaru to slowly trot over to Boruto's side just to give us a taste of an idea. And what do we see prior? We saw Shikamaru disputing with the feudal lords in terms of the things that are currently going down. And this was when Shikamaru started to get some type of idea and understanding, okay, something isn't right. I don't know exactly what it is, but for the mere fact, I know it's not right, because that was after he heard his conversation with Amato and Sumire. Now, moving just forward, Shikamaru is going to be able to looking at all of the pieces on the board, right? So his three main things that he's going to be looking at is Amato, Ada, and Kawaki. And we already seen firsthand when he started to, do things behind the backs of others, the main people he excluded in specific situations were specifically Ada and specifically Kawaki, because he understands if it's true and he just simply reverses both Kawaki and Boruto's roles in his head, despite his memories telling him what they're telling him, a lot of the things that he couldn't come to make sense of prior or before or over time start to make sense if he simply just puts Kawaki and Boruto places back reversed, meaning making Kawaki the rogue who betrayed the village and betrayed Naruto, and Boruto the true son of Lord 7. Things start to make sense despite what his memories are telling him not to be, right? So Shikamaru was able to come to that much of a conclusion on his own. Now, after getting all of the information that he has gotten up to this point, and we see the subtle hints that Kawaki is starting to suspect, right? People are, colluding or colliding with Boruto in some regards, or in sense that his true goal or his true plan is starting to be figured out slowly or surely. This point, it's a matter of who makes the first mess up, right? Because they're both still on the chessboard in terms of Kawaki and Shikamaru, and then the wild card we have being with Ada, right? But Kawaki is still gonna have to play his moves right, because if he makes too drastic of a move, right, and he understands, okay, oh snap, nobody's still suspecting me or nobody suspected anything, he just blows him whole entire self up. Kawaki has been known to having too good of a hand and still not doing anything with it, right? He deals his great hand, but he runs out of time before he gets to make that move, and we've seen it time and time again. So right now, he can't make that same mistake with jumping to the gun, even though we as an audience know, yes, Shikamaru has been wary to the truth, despite him fully being on board with Boruto or fully being not. That's a different conversation, but Shikamaru has been privy along with to the truth. So Shikamaru is going to be looking at Kawaki on the chessboard, and he's going to be understanding he has to play the way that he's been playing, right? Going hand in hand with Kawaki, being the one to attack missions first in terms of the village, being the first to contact Shikamaru first, letting this go down, that go down, this, that, and the other, and reporting to Shikamaru and vice versa. Shikamaru giving Kawaki any details he will possibly need on code, 10 tails, and a possible threat or an invasion from the traitors, both Boruto and Sasuke, right? So there's going to be a whole lot of things that Shikamaru is going to have to do differently, especially now that he's been aware of the truth, and he has to understand that he is also under suspicion, right? And then it lies into Amato, right? How is Shikamaru going to start looking at Amato? Because now that he's talked with Boruto and confirmed certain things with Boruto, now he goes back and looks at all the conversation that he's heard over with Amato and Sumire, right? And it goes back even further. Shikamaru getting pissed off at Amato over time and time again for withholding information that is crucial and valuable to the village and ultimately for the better and the safety of the ninja world. So Shikamaru is going to have to play his cards right in that manner and in that regard as well. In terms of gathering more allies, once the release of Chapter 8 made it more prominent, that I feel like that's not going to be something that Shikamaru is going to have to convince people to join him in order to help Boruto, because the way Boruto's moving, honestly, he might just do it on his own, right? It's just a matter of what Shikamaru would be able to do up until he gets enough allies on his side behind the scenes to the point where they don't have to be in the shadows anymore. And it's like, nah, niggas know Boruto is the true one. Like, Boruto is the one that we have to help for whatever reason, but I believe and I'm putting my trust in this guy, Boruto. So Shikamaru definitely would be like the hardest egg to crack, especially prior to the time skip, because we understand he would have been a stickler in the mud for, no, what happened to Naruto? Where's Naruto? We have to confine the village, put everybody on the outskirts, draw borderlines, and then make another wall outside of the borderlines, protecting the inner walls from the outer walls. We know the measures that Shikamaru would have gone through, right? So now that we understand that he is is somewhat privy to the truth, what type of measures is he willing to take in order to make sure that A, Kawaki stays in place and we don't push him too far than what we need to be, but B, we do enough to the point that we get to where we need to go in order to make progress. Because now that he's aware, I'm definitely not taking up that 8th Hokage. So you feel me? My boy Naruto's gonna have to step back into position. So whatever we need to do to make that, you know, into fruition, what do you talk about? Put the key in the ignition. Like, let's get it, boy. Let's really get it. So I'm really looking forward to how Shikamaru decides to move forward. But let me know how y'all feel. What is his ultimate decision to portray the village, quote unquote, portray the village and help Boruto? How do y'all think it pushes the story, and what direction it ultimately pushes the story, and what does it do for Kawaki as his character? You know what I'm saying? Looking at the chessboard, Kawaki versus Shikamaru, honestly, Shikamaru, he got him in checkmate in 3 different ways, but there's still a loophole for Kawaki to get out into the mix. You know what I'm saying? Holla at your boy. Let me know. Comment in the section in the video below. It's your boy Black Chia. Holla at your mom. Holla at y'all. Black Chia out. Yes, sir. Ski.
Hey, can we take a trip to the sky? Show them that our limit's too high.
Cocoa butter hips on the west side. She said